Late Night Health continues. I'm Mark Allen, along with the insane Daryl Wayne, and I'm getting used to this comfortable studio. I've done some work in here. We're in a relatively new studio for me. It's over a year old. We were working in another studio. Now we're back, right? So it's very comfortable, and we have some video of it that we think we're going to be that will be on the Late Night Health website of Daryl and me. It'll be on Facebook, talking about the fires in Ventura and how psychologically upsetting fires can be. All right, we go to New York, just outside of Manhattan, and we talk once again with Dr. Ken Redcross, a board-certified internal medicine physician. I've always thought of Dr. Ken as an integrative physician. Would you agree with that, Dr. Ken?
You know, it's funny. I've actually started to evolve into that. You already know, Mark, I'm Western trained, but slowly but surely, I think you're right. I've evolved into an integrative physician at this point.
Well, you've seen the light.
Oh, yes. It's funny. I always say that, and you're right. I have seen the light, and so it's much brighter over here. I love it on this side.
Absolutely, and a lot more opportunity to heal people and prevent disease rather than just treat disease. All right, let's talk about sleep. We talked about it in our first hour, and we're going to talk about it again now. Without sleep, let's get your handle on what happens if we're deprived. If we only get, say, 4 to 5 hours, maybe even 6 hours of sleep a night, is that enough?
No, nowhere enough. And in fact, obviously, we know about a lot of the diseases that can be linked to sleep deprivation. And these are big diseases. We're talking about not only heart disease, but cancer and diabetes, obesity, and even Alzheimer's and depression have all been linked to sleep deprivation. So, you know, I think one of the things that's most important for people to recognize is that sleep is actually an active period. It doesn't feel that way, Mark, because we lay our head down and we think everything kind of shuts off, but our body really just gets going by the time we start to get into our deep sleep.
How many hours should the average person get per night?
All right, well, the CDC said we're supposed to be striving for 7 hours of sleep each and every day, and I recognize that people are a little different. Someone will come to my office and say, with Dr. Redcross, I live well off of 6, and then someone will say they need 8. But as far as that average, 7 is where we're trying to get to, kind of that sweet spot.
All right, I'm going to drop the doctor for a minute. I'm going to call you Ken.
All right.
And I'm going to ask you a personal question.
Please.
How many hours of sleep do you get a night?
I knew that was coming, Mark. I knew that was coming. Almost not fair. I am going to be very honest with you guys and say usually about 6.5. And that's the honest, God's honest truth. About 6.5. And around there, I am pretty functional. I am a little bit better and more productive, though, I will admit, if I do get a little bit more of that, but it's just so tough with my travel schedule. But about 6.5. About
6.5. I'm trying to figure out, I go to bed roughly midnight every night. I fall asleep around midnight, and I'm up at, 6:30. I slept in a little bit tonight, this morning, 6:45. So I got almost 7 hours of sleep. Almost 7, right. And
right. How did you feel with that? Is that good for you as far as productivity and feeling good when you wake up?
You know, I feel great today. I got to tell you, I haven't felt this good in a long time, and that extra 20 minutes or so, actually, you know, I usually go to bed at midnight, fall asleep around midnight. Last night, I fell asleep at 11, so I got over 7 hours.
Yeah, see, and that really matters because when we're sleeping, like I mentioned before, is an active period, and really sleep heals. Our body heals during sleep, and so you can imagine everything we put our bodies through each and every day, and how important even that 20 minutes was for you.
Oh, absolutely. There's no question about it. On the other hand, if I'm in production, if I'm doing videos for Dr. Redcross, and I'm prepping for that show, that video production or a radio gig,
sure.
I think about this quite often. I stay up till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning getting ready because I know I'm not going to sleep because I'm I'm covering all my bets. Daryl and I did some video work not long ago. Boy, did we get up early. I mean, that was...
I thought that through for days ahead of time, and there was very little sleep.
Very little sleep.
Because it was a logistic nightmare.
It was terrible.
I can only imagine.
And so, does that interrupt our REM sleep, our deep sleep, the healing sleep?
Yeah, that's a great question, because that's the challenge with sleep, because it does. Studies show that even one sleepless night can cause a big issue, especially as far as your immune system. And so we all go through this each and every day, whether we're working in our jobs or with our family structure or what have you. So that's the challenging thing with sleep, and that's why it's important. And I'm glad you talked about it at the top of your hour, you said, because sleep is something that we all need to take seriously and recognize how can we improve the quality of the sleep that we do get, at least.
And one of the things I noticed in some notes that you sent me, that you get to bed by 10, and that experts are saying that the most important sleep is 90 minutes before midnight. Mm-hmm. So I don't go to bed till at least 11 o'clock. Are you in bed, if you're at home not traveling, by 10?
No, and that's a tougher one. And like I said, that was just some of the studies that we saw and what a lot of the experts say. And I realized that sometimes that can be a moving target, just like it was for you guys when you were up prepping late at night. So, but at least it gives us something to kind of reach for, Mark, to kind of say, okay, maybe if I can't get to bed at 10, maybe I can get to bed at 10:30, 10:45, at least something to shoot for.
But if I go to bed at 10, I'm going to read for at least 15 to 20 minutes before I fall asleep.
Right.
Is that okay?
That is okay. And in fact, I would love for you to read, but I want us to try and read, but not on our screen. In other words, an iPad or a computer. So that way I can say, yes, read, but I know it's hard. A lot of people like to read that way, but that's affecting some of our sleep as well. So if you want to read towards bedtime, I think that's a great idea. But let's avoid some of the electronics along the way.
My wife and I are having a disagreement, and she's on your side. It's just that it's so easy to read on my iPad, and I read maybe 6 or 8 books, 6 books a month.
Good.
Some for the show, some for pleasure, but I prefer them on the iPad because it's easy. It goes with me everywhere.
It is, and you're right, it is mobile. For me, I try not to, just because I'm kind of crazy about the amount of sleep I get. I know that I sleep differently if I use my iPad closer to bed, and I'm a little bit of a throwback. I'll show my age here, Mark, but I enjoy touching the pages of the paper.
The tactile feeling, yeah.
Them.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's the one thing I miss. I was reading something before the iPad, and I kept falling. It was a large book, and it was a heavy book, and it kept knocking me out when I fell asleep. So, it would hit my forehead. We're talking about the quality of sleep, quantity over quality, or quality over quantity.
Quality over quantity, right.
And so, a lot of people have all kinds of things during the week, and they get maybe 5.5 or 6 hours of sleep, and then Saturday and Sunday come up, and they think of this as a banking system, and they'll sleep 8 or 9 hours on Saturday and Sunday. Can you catch up on your sleep? Can you take an extra deposit out from your sleep bank account?
Not in that way. Wouldn't that be so nice and easy if we could do it that way? But no, your body, once again, is a beautiful, complex machine. So can you get a little more rest? Yes. But you can't necessarily bank it that way and figure you're going to get 4 hours of sleep a few days and then catch all up on the weekend. Your body does not work that way. So you want to do this all in proportion, at least the best that you can.
And so that you want to get that 7 hours during the week as well.
Exactly. And you really want to use that weekend to continue that same benefit as you go along. Like I said, the other thing I love about this is that you'll get some people who are high achievers, and they'll say that they can live off of 3 or 4 hours and are much more productive. But the studies actually show that's not probably true. At some point, they kind of crash, and so the best thing always comes back to that 7 hours that your body needs. And when you're sleeping, your body is not just resting, right? There's a lot of things going on. Your body is processing. It's processing your memories from the day and from yesterday. It's also restoring itself from all the day's actions and activities. And last but not least, your body is building hormones and gaining muscle and repairing tissue. All of these things are happening when we're actually sleeping. So think about missing some of those processes throughout the week when you're only getting 4 hours or 3 hours of sleep. And so you can better understand why when the weekend comes, you can't necessarily catch up on getting that restoration period and the stress.
And what about cat naps during the day? Do those count toward that sleep deposit?
They actually can somewhat. Now, cat naps, we're talking literally cat naps, so maybe 30 minutes, 45. Not going back to sleep necessarily, because that can also throw you off a little bit. But cat naps is something you can definitely throw in and get in a little bit of a benefit. But sleep hygiene is important there as well, meaning avoid your electronics if you can, and also TVs in the bedroom.
Gotcha. We've got to take a break. When we come back, we will continue our discussion on sleep with Dr. Ken Redcross. I'm Mark Allen, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. We thank Daryl for everything he does and all the buttons he pushes. He doesn't push my button, by the way. All right, here we go. We'll be back. Join us, if you can, at latenighthealth.com and at facebook.com/latenighthealthradio. We'll be back.
The experts at Web.com want to build your business a successful website for free, just like we did for these current Web.com customers.
We've looked at other website designers. There's nobody better than Web.com.
Web.com can build your website in as little as 7 days free. Plus, we'll promote it on all the major search engines. If after 30 days you're happy, we'll continue to provide promotion, hosting, support, and maintenance, all for one low monthly fee. If not, cancel and pay nothing.
If you're in business and you don't have a web presence, you won't be taken seriously.
Call right now and you'll also get a free .com or .net domain name for your new website, powered by VeriSign, the world's leading domain name provider.
No upfront charge for site build, after which ongoing fees apply. Rights to site are relinquished when canceled. Domain included during active service, after which fees apply.
800-489-8751. 800-489-8751. 800-489-8751. That's 800-489-8751. Attention users of the blood-thinning drug Xarelto. If you took the drug Xarelto and experienced complications such as cerebral hemorrhage, gastrointestinal bleeding or other internal bleeding, or if a loved one has died after taking Xarelto, you may be eligible to get a cash award for your suffering. Call the Xarelto Help Hotline now at 1-800-264-3150. That's 800-264-3150. To qualify for a cash settlement, you must file a claim before the deadline, so don't miss your opportunity for a cash settlement. Call 800-264-3150 now for a free, no-obligation consultation. Our call center is open 24/7. So if you took the drug Xarelto and experienced cerebral hemorrhage, gastrointestinal bleeding, or other internal bleeding, or if a loved one has died after taking Xarelto, call the Xarelto Help Hotline now at 800-264-3150. 800-264-3150. That's 800-264-3150.